Hey there guys, Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to the second set of cards in my 10 cards for one kit for the 2018 February paper pumpkin. So I'm starting out by using a black alcohol marker to color the Celebrate. You could use a Sharpie if you had one. This is just a Spectrum Noir. I'm sorry that this is going up a day late, but I had editing issues yesterday, internet issues yesterday. You guys know it was storming. You heard the voiceover, so it's been crazy. So I'm going to adhere this to a piece of acetate, and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm also going to bring in the centers of the E's and the A's so it'll look like an E and an A. So we had storms today, but they're already gone, and the sun is actually out. It's the first time it's been out in a week. It's amazing. So when initially I was going to make this card, I thought that I was going to separate it into three and put like three separation of the sequins I'm going to use, but that didn't work out because my foam tape, even cutting it in the half, was too wide. So before I adhere the foam strips, I'm going to go ahead and go around this with a black marker. You'll also see me use this black marker again later to color the foam strips. For those of you who are interested, after watching yesterday's video, actually the turquoise and yellow card was my favorite. I've never used those two colors together on their own, but after that card, I definitely will be using them. So I'm just going to add the foam strips. I'm going to add it to the top and the bottom, and then I will be also snaking it around the sides. And here I was counting, thinking, oh, because I had 3 different colors, there are 9 letters. Yeah, it didn't work out. That's all right. I think if you had like the precious, the huge foam, maybe, but it was just, you could see the white, and no matter what I did, I hated it. So switched it around. So I'm using some sequins from my stash. I actually have some of these colors for sale in my D stash if you are interested. And I'm going to be adhering this to a piece of basic black paper and then cutting it out. My card base today is a piece of basic black. That's 5.5 by 8.5. I've squared it at 4 1/4. Then I have that stripe. It's from the Tutti Frutti Designer Series paper, and it measures 4 by 5 1/4. And here you can see me using that marker to color. You don't have to do this since there's white in the paper, but I wanted to go ahead and do it just to kind of hide it. So I'm using liquid glue to adhere that flat because it's already pretty tall with those foam strips. And for a finishing touch, I'm going to add 3 of each color of sequins just randomly on the card and the focal panel. I really love how this card turned out. It was really fun to make. I think it was something that was completely different than the look and the tone of the original, but I really love it. So, jaws. You can really make a shaker out of any of it. So there's that, and here's a closer look at that card. Don't forget, you can head over to the blog to see better pictures. So for card number 6, I'm going to be using the card base and a card layer that came in the kit. I'm also going to be using a couple of envelopes. I'm going to bring in my 1 3/4 inch and 1 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch 3 of each size, and then eventually I'll bring in the 1 inch circle punch as well. I'm just punching out some circles to add to the background. I love this. I think I use these envelopes more for punching or for the paper than I did anything. So I'm going to bring in some Pool Party because you knew I had to at some point. And this piece of Pool Party measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to adhere that down. And then I'm going to add a piece of the Pool Party shimmer ribbon. I took this part out because you guys have literally seen me adhere ribbon with washi tape probably 400 times. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one flat because some of the circles will be on dimensionals, and then the sentiment will also be on dimensionals. And I wanted to have the ribbon in place so I knew where to place my circles. So I'm going to adhere them with the liquid glue. Oh my word, brain. So I started hearing these big ones, And then when I go to adhere the small one, you're going to see that I ended up dropping it, not where I wanted it, but I just moved it just a little bit and went ahead and added that on. So for my sentiment today, I'm going to bring in some of those letters from the, oh, here you see me using the one in circle punch. I'm going to bring in the the letters from the kit, and I'm going to spell out the word hi. And you saw me add some dimensionals to those circles. I'm going to end up only using 2 of those circles instead of all 3. It took me a minute to get this straight, but I did. And then I'm going to add a pink, a white, and a turquoise flower to this circle. And then I got the little ink eraser. I think did I show that in yesterday's video? I can't remember, but I do like it. So thank you to everyone who suggested that. I got an order from Simon for some cards that I'm working on. Someone commissioned some vintagey thank you cards, and you guys know that's not really my style, so I didn't really have anything in my stash. So here I am adding those flowers, and of course I need to add some Winkostella because hello. But I'm going to add Winkostella to the flowers, into the smaller circles, the letters, and then we're going to call this card done. And here's an up-close picture of that one. I really love the colors in this one. So for card number 3, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to take out all of these leaves, and then I'm going to use that vellum as my backdrop. So I'm going to use the largest tag from the tag, lots of labels, that's what it is, lots of labels. It's the one that's just a size smaller than what came in the kit. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down with liquid glue. Now, I know a lot of people cringe when they see adhesive under vellum, but honestly, once this dried, I really can't see it. I really can't even tell it's there. So I didn't want to cut this down, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it off after it's been adhered to the card. And then you're going to see me go through and add adhesive to what's sticking up. And I honestly really like the look of this. I really, really do. So I'm going to bring in and do the friend. You guys have seen me use the washi tape to adhere the letters. I think that is what's the easiest, and it helps get them as straight as you can get them. I do know that my first card had one little crooked one, and that's okay. And then I decided that I was going to use some other letters to spell out dear. So D-E-A-R. And then I'm actually going to use a brown Sharpie, and I'm going to write hello my on this piece of vellum. I don't have the best handwriting, and I cannot do calligraphy or nothing, but I actually really like the way this looked. So I'm going to adhere that with the glue dots that came in the kit, and then I'm going to add this with some dimensionals. Now you see that I added a couple of pearls to that hello my. I'm going to change those out in just a second. So I'm going to take my dark Bermuda Bay and my bronze marker, and I'm going to color some of these pearls, and I'm going to add those to the card. So I'm going to add the blue Bermuda Bay to the actual vellum piece, and then I'm going to add a mixture of the other two to the card base. I like this one. I wasn't sure that I was going to. I really struggled with this card and the last card, but I really do like how it turned out. And I like that I was able to use some of the letters. So I'm not going to win any Words with Friends competitions anytime soon, but I'm really proud of myself. So that's it for card number 3. For card number 4, I really wanted to bring in some of the navy from that wildflower print. So this is a top folding card, so it measured 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 5 1/2. I'm putting in my Whisper White card layer. Then I took a piece of Tangerine Tango and I ran it through, I believe it's the wood plank embossing folder. And then I am adhering a piece of the crumb cake, I don't remember what this is called. It's in the cafe suite. So again, link down below. And I'm going to adhere that. And then I use the Celebrate You Thinlits from the Celebration stamp set to cut out the word celebrate out of the wildfire print. You can see I used that envelope there, and also out of Night of Navy because I'm going to add a drop shadow. And I love this. I want to see this pattern paper in the annual catalog. I have a whole list of things I'd like to see in the annual catalog Stampin' Up. So get on it. Like Melon Mambo and Elegant Eggplant blends. So here I really struggled on where I wanted to put this, and then I decided to put it right above the ribbon. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment from the stamp set that came with the paper pumpkin kit. I believe it says "Your Awesomeness." And I stamped that using Stays On ink onto one of the larger banners. And here you can see I struggle to get it straight. The best thing to do is just drop it face down and then pick it up and stamp it. And again, I'm going to adhere this with some of the glue dots that came in the kit. You just stick them on, peel them off, stick them on, peel the backer off. Really simple. I don't think I've been saying the right numbers. This is card number 9. Really quick and simple, and added a couple of pearls. So for last card, I have a piece of Pink Pirouette Pink Pirouette cardstock that again is a top folding card, and then I'm using one of the card layers that came with the kit. And then I'm going to add my inside card layer. And if you guys remember yesterday for card number 1, I'd cut some of that into those labels into strips. So I'm going to be using one of those. First, I'm going to go ahead and use the stamp set to stamp Thank You and Night of Navy. If you've been with me for a long time, you know I love pink and navy. Some of my favorite color combinations. So this is going to be real simple. I'm going to bring in a piece of the navy corduroy ribbon from the Occasions catalog. I'm going to adhere that with washi, add it with dimensionals, and then I'm going to add the sentiment panel. And I made a mistake here. I should have added 2 layers of dimensionals on the top and the bottom, and I didn't. So my last step for this card is to add the 3 little flowers that I've been adding with the Wink of Stella. So that's it. Here's a look at all 5 cards. I hope you have enjoyed this little series along with me, and I'll be back next week with more cards. And before you go, here's 3 minutes of Roxy. So if you want to skip this, you can just skip to the end. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.